Welcome back, dear learners. Today, in this video, we'll cover the topics of causes and consequences of migration in India. So let us start. Now see, everyone is closely attached to the place of birth, isn't it? But sometimes certain circumstances get created due to which a person has to leave his place of birth and place of residence. So, what are the causes of migration? Basically, migration is caused by two important factors, that is push factors and pull factors. These two factors operate and are responsible for the migration in India. So let us see what are the push and pull factors of migration. Push factors are those which compels a migrant to leave his source area and migrate to some other areas which is providing better opportunities. These better opportunities are the pull factors of migration. So let us have a look at these factors. The push factors include unemployment, lack of safety, lack of services in the area, large scale poverty, or there is a agriculture failure in the area, or there is a drought, or war, civil unrest, natural hazards like floods, etc., and isolation. So these are the major factors responsible for the rural to urban migration in India. Okay, these factors have compelled the people to migrate from the rural areas. And what are the pull factors? The pull factors includes better opportunities, potential for employment, safer atmosphere, better service provision, greater wealth in the area, the land may be fertile, there can be good food supplies, or there is political security in the pull area, or there is less risk of natural hazards, and also there is greater friends and family. However, okay, if I give you an example, let's take a poverty stricken area of town X, okay, where suppose there is a crop failure due to monsoon, all right, and there is large scale unemployment in the area. Now what will that person do? He has to look after his family. So he found out that town Y is providing him that opportunities. He will get an employment out there. So what will that person do? He will leave his area and migrate to town Y. Why? Because that area is acting as a magnet for him, isn't it? So let me make you all understand much more better with this cartoon representation. As you see, the push factors like climatic disasters, farmers' pitiable life, these are your push factors. Whereas the pull factors include that the healthcare facility is very good in that area, there's good money, jobs are better, city life, okay, food, there's peace, there's good education. Every person wants a good standard of living, isn't it? Okay, they dream for it. Where there is better opportunities, of course the person will go out there. Okay, so the pull factors act like a magnet. That's why people from the rural areas of UP, Bihar, etc., they migrate to the states of Maharashtra, Delhi, which have all the magnetic properties. So I hope the causes of migration are clear for you all. Now remember students, there are separate reasons why male and female migrate in India. So let us have a look at the pie diagram. Now if we look on the left hand side, there are reasons why male migrate in larger number in India, and on the right hand side are the reasons for female migration in India. Now basically males migrate in India, as you are able to see, because of your work, employment and business. Okay, can you see 34% for your business and 24%? So combination, okay, they generally migrate for your employment and work. Okay, okay. On the other hand, only 2.3% female migrate for your work and employment. However, let us see, we will see the pie diagram. Now you see on the right hand side the reasons for female migration. 66% of females migrate because of marriage. Okay, they have to leave their paternal house because of marriage reason. That is why, okay, as we have already seen why people or why the females are migrating from rural to rural areas. It's your marriage. Okay, on an average the reason is marriage for the females. Okay, now others, if you see the other reasons, okay, why females are migrating: for education females migrate, that's only 1%. Okay, for work employment it's only 2%. Okay, whereas for your business it's only around 14%. Moved with household 12%, and the rest reasons. Okay, but however, there is one state in India which has a different sort of marriage law for the females. Did you knew that? Do you know that women in Meghalaya follow a matrilineal society? Okay, the rest part of India follows a patriarchal system, है ना. लेकिन मेघालय में क्या है कि एक मैट्रिलिनियल सिस्टम या मैट्रिलिनियल सोसाइटी है जहाँ पे जो यंगेस्ट डॉटर होती है वो ancestral property inherit कर सकती है, and after she gets married, okay, the husbands have to come and live in the mother-in-law's home. लड़की के घर में रहना पड़ता है हस्बैंड्स को. बट बेसिकली रेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में क्या होता है, लड़की को माइग्रेट करके जाना पड़ता है शादी के बाद टू लिव इन हर हस्बैंड्स होम. बट इन दिस केस, इन दिस स्टेट, व्हाट हैपेंस, द हस्बैंड हैज़ टू कम एंड लिव इन हिज मदर-इन-लॉज होम. ओके, एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली जो सरनेम होता है इन अ पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी, फादर का सरनेम कैरी ऑन होता है. बट हाउएवर इन द स्टेट ऑफ मेघालय द सरनेम इज कैरिड बाय द मदर्स. ठीक है, मदर का सरनेम इनहेरिट करते हैं उनके बच्चे. ओके, सो दिस इज क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग इन द स्टेट ऑफ मेघालय. Okay, so this was all about the causes of migration in India. That's your push and the pull factors. Now we will see the consequences. ठीक है, किसी भी चीज़ का तो कॉन्सिक्वेंस होना चाहिए. नाउ सी, माइग्रेशन हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ अनइवन अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, है ना. अनइवन अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ होने की वजह से तो माइग्रेशन हो रहा है. सो जितना माइग्रेशन का पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है उतना नेगेटिव भी पड़ता है. ठीक है, सो माइग्रेशन कैन हैव बोथ पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. सो द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ माइग्रेशन आर सीन इन these 5 areas or 5 type of consequences. We can say it better. That's your economic consequences, demographic consequences, social consequences, environmental consequences, and other consequences. So we will have a look at each one of the consequences. Okay, so let us have a look at the economic consequences of migration. Consequences क्या है? Result, impact. Okay, so let us see the positive side of migration in the economic field. Okay, see, positive consequences of migration is that when people say migrate to a foreign country, when a person does an international migration, what is happening? Those international migrants, they send remittances to the country in terms of foreign exchange, isn't it? They are earning out there, they are sending money to our country, which is acting as a foreign exchange reserve. So according to the data, India received a remittance of US $11 billion from your international migrants. Now that's a very good account for our economic development, isn't it? Now the states like Punjab, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they receive a large amount of remittances because a large amount of people from these states have migrated to foreign countries like Canada, okay, US, etc. Now however, ये भी याद रखना कि हमारे कंट्री को रेमिटेंसेस हमारे इंटरनल माइग्रेंट्स भी देते हैं. Okay, they also have migrated to other states and they are earning and sending some amount of money to back to the family in the rural areas. अब ये जो मनी वो भेज रहे हैं वो कहाँ कहाँ यूज़ करते हैं उसके फैमिली, ये यूज़ किया जा सकता है इन योर पेमेंट ऑफ डेब्ट्स, ऑलराइट, है ना, फूड के लिए, बेटी की शादी के लिए, एजुकेशन के लिए, टू बाय द एग्रीकल्चर इनपुट्स, टू कंस्ट्रक्ट हाउसेस एट्सेट्रा. Now see, there was a time when if you remember, green revolution took place around 1950s and 1960s in India. So in that time, the laborers, or you can say the farmers, etc., they migrated from the rural areas of eastern UP, Bihar, MP, Orissa to the rural areas of Punjab, Haryana, western UP, which was responsible for the success of agricultural revolution in India, which uplifted the economy of our country. Okay. Now one more thing, one more positive advantage economically ये होता है, means immigration is beneficial to overcrowded area as it releases the pressure of population on land. Immigration means you're migrating out of the area. Imagine a area has become very overcrowded, बहुत ज़्यादा overcrowding हो गई है, so वहाँ से अगर लोग migrate कर रहे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं उस area का pressure release हो रहा है. That's a positive thing of economically. Alright, so I hope you understood what kind of positive economic consequences are happening because of migration. Now, as you know, a coin has both two sides, isn't it? So similarly, there is a negative economic consequences as well. Negative क्या होता है? Means if there is unregulated migration happening to metropolitan cities, what will happen to the metropolitan cities? There will be a problem of overcrowding. Okay, large number of people are migrating and migrating. What is happening? Overcrowding is happening. All right. And because of overcrowding, what will happen now? People do not get enough place to stay in big metropolitan cities since the cost of living is very high. So it will lead to the development of slums in the industrial areas of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Delhi. Okay, it's all a result of overcrowding, and thereby people are staying in the slum areas. And now the third negative consequence, economic consequence, is drain of skilled people. Means this is happening in India. The highly skilled people like the doctors, the research scientists, they are leaving our country and they are migrating to international countries like US. Why? Because they are offering them better wages and better standard of living. So what is happening in our country? There is a drain. The skilled people are going out. So that's a drain. That is again harmful for the economy of a country. Now let us move on to the next consequence of migration, that is known as demographic consequences of migration. As you know, demography means population, so there will be a consequence on the demography as well. Let us see the positive side. Positive side of demographic consequences में होता है that when people migrate, there will be a redistribution of population. That is a good positive sign. People will get redistributed within the region and outside the region. Another positive demographic consequence ये होता है that rural to urban migration is one of the most important factors contributing to the population growth of cities. Okay, so when people are migrating from one rural area to urban areas, suppose let's say the population in the urban area is less, so that is also a good thing that there is the population growth, because we require human resource in the urban areas. हमें लोग चाहिए, है ना? So that is also a good sign. However, sometimes it becomes negative, as you know. Now on the negative part, age and sex selective migration can have adverse effects on the demographic structure. Again, agar let's take only males are migrating in larger numbers, what is happening? That is also a very bad impact. Okay, everything will become uneven. And also age selective. For example, only a particular age group is migrating to the urban areas, or let's say to any area, that will again have a very adverse impact on the demographic structure. Now this has happened because of the migration. ये हुआ है in the states of उत्तराखंड, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश एंड ईस्टर्न महाराष्ट्र. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ माइग्रेशन क्या हुआ है, एज एंड सेक्स सेलेक्टिव, सिर्फ एक ही सेक्स के माइग्रेशन की वजह से या एक ही पर्टिकुलर एज ग्रुप के माइग्रेशन की वजह से भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है डेमोग्राफिक स्ट्रक्चर में इन स्टेट्स में. And of course, we cannot forget that there will be an unfavorable sex ratio. If, as I said, if only one sex is migrating, as in the case of India where males migrate in larger number, there is an unfavorable sex ratio in most of the states of India. Okay, as you know, the sex ratio is 943 per thousand males. Okay, that is a clear indicator of unfavorable sex ratio. Now let us move on to the social consequences of migration in India. What kind of consequences it can have on the society? Okay, so on the positive side is that the migrants or the people who are migrating, they act as a social change. Okay, they act as a carrier of social change when they are migrating from one area to another area. And these are, when people migrate, okay, there can be a spread of new ideas, new technologies. The concept of family planning can be spread. Girls' education, etc., can get diffused from the urban to rural areas. For example, let's say a person, okay, who doesn't have enough knowledge about family planning. Suppose he is migrating to a urban area. वहाँ पे वो सीखता है family planning क्या है. Why is it important for a girl to get educated? वो सारा knowledge लेके अपने rural areas में जाके उसको फिर diffuse कर सकता है. Okay, that's a very positive sign. Next, there can be a intermixing of people from diverse cultures. Okay, migration की वजह से there can be an intermixing because people from diverse communities, diverse background, they move from one place to another. There can be an intermixing. Okay, a society can become heterogeneous, which is a good sign. Everybody can live together, know about each other's culture, religion, way of living, way of eating, etc. Next, evolution of composite culture and breaking through the narrow considerations and widens of the mental horizons of the people. Okay, means when the society will become a composite, okay, it will be a mixed society. It will break the narrow thinking of the people regarding one group of people, है ना? There will be no narrow thinking. The mentality of people will increase. They will come to know about so many things in the urban areas. In fact, any area where they are migrating, that is a good social positive consequence. Now, the negative social consequences. When you see the negative part, of course, as I said, there is always a two-sided theory. What will happen is that sometimes, okay, people face a lot of dejection. People, they become isolated when they migrate to the urban areas. Okay, they may not be able to interact with the people in the urban areas. So this kind of feeling will lead to a feeling of isolation. Okay, people will feel dejected, isolated, and thereby, if they are not getting good opportunities out there, they may also fall into antisocial activities like crime, drug abuse, robbery, etc. As you already know, all sorts of antisocial crimes which occurs is a result or a negative consequence of migration in India. Now let us see the environmental side consequences. Now, of course, migration or the growth of population, okay, it has a negative impact upon the environment. You are going and migrating to areas, urban areas. What will happen? Randomly migrating, it will lead to unplanned growth of the urban areas. Okay, means unplanned growth means houses are constructed, or let's say the growth of cities is taking in an unplanned manner. Okay, then there will be a pressure on the existing physical and social infrastructure. If people are migrating in larger numbers to the areas, there will be a pressure on the area, on the limited physical and social infrastructure. The third environmental consequence is that, okay, there will be a over exploitation of natural resources, which is already limited, as you know. So cities are today in India facing these problems of your depletion of groundwater, the problem of air pollution, disposal of sewage, okay, sorry, here there's a slight mistake. Solid wastes. Okay, this is not your spider, this is solid. Okay, so what is happening? There is a depletion of resources, groundwater is getting depleted, it's leading to pollution, air pollution, water pollution, etc. There is no proper disposal of sewage management skills in the urban areas. Okay, there is no proper management of your solid wastes in the urban areas. So all these problems are growing negatively on the environmental side. Okay, so I hope you all have got this 4 consequences now. Besides these 4 consequences of migration, we have a combination of other consequences as well. One such consequence जो होता है वो है migration affects the status of women in our country. Okay, migration क्या करता है, वो women के status को भी affect करता है. For example, male selective migration can put physical and mental pressure on the women. Suppose a person who is married, okay, he is migrating, leaving behind his wife in the home. It will create an extra physical and mental pressure because the husband has gone to some other city to earn. So the entire responsibility of the house to look after the household chores, to look after her in-laws, her children comes on the shoulders of the wife. Okay, that's a pressure. Now, let's say women are migrating. So, of course, there is a positive thing when women migrate. अगर women भी migrate कर रही है, let's say for her education, okay, for her employment, what will happen? Migration of women either for education or employment enhances their autonomy and role in the economy. Means if they migrate, they become financially, socially independent, but however increases their vulnerability. Okay, means women migrating to bigger cities, okay, today are lacking security. It's not secure for most of the females who have migrated in the big urban areas. Okay, there's lack of security for the women out there. Next, among the other consequences is that underdevelopment of the source region gets reinforced. Now this is a kind of economic consequence only. Means suppose एक area से लोग migrate कर रहे हैं, okay, they are just getting migrated, they are just leaving that area. So what is happening? That's a source area, है ना, उसको source region बोल सकते हैं. तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा? Development होगा? No, there will be underdevelopment. Okay, so there is again inequality in the developmental rates because of excessive migration from the source region to the place of destination. Okay, so these other consequences are a combination of other factors, okay, which have affected or which are a result of migration in India. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. You can repeat the video and understand it much more better. So keep connected. I'll be coming up with more chapters in the upcoming time. So thank you for watching.